Direct to Science, a podcast by NAWA, the Polish National Agency for Academic Exchange. ImpressU is an international collaborative program not just supporting scientific collaboration, but in particular supporting collaboration with Ukrainian scientists. Even though they face extreme challenges, they contribute to progress in numerous fields. Yaroslav Shpotyuk from the Ivan Franko National University of Lviv, working now at Rzeszów University in Poland, describes a real day-to-day need which should and is studied in the framework of the program.
If you look around, you will see everywhere amorphous or glassy materials. They are like windows, eyeglasses. Internet now is using the fiber cables, so we have glasses everywhere. In our case, we are not really dealing with materials for everyday use or for everyday life. We work with glasses for specific application, which are in medicine and photonics. And two sub-projects are dedicated to the use of glasses in medicine. We are working now with so-called Fabry disease, rare genetic disease, and medical laboratory identification of this disease requires long time genetic investigations, which could be made only in some selected laboratories, and it takes sometimes up to 1 month. So what we want to do, we want to use our sensor, infrared sensor, to have a preliminary diagnosis. Either this patient is sick with Fabry disease, either she supposed to go for some additional test, or he is completely healthy. So we take urine samples from the patients, we do infrared analysis. After we do some statistical analysis with machine learning, and we can conclude if this person belongs to the healthy group or the group under the risk or sick person.
Yaroslav Shpotyuk describes the way how ImpressU works from the perspective of a Ukrainian academic.
So as the possibility appeared in the frame of the ImpressU program to involve also Ukrainian students and Polish students, so we thought it would be a really great opportunity for us. First of all, to create a groups of the students from different countries, and besides that, to also create kind of bigger network of scientists and work on new projects and to develop new ideas, extend the collaboration. So that's what we are actually doing in the frame of this project. First result we expect is like social one. I believe it's really good opportunity for the students from different countries to work in the group, to learn new scientific things, new cultural things. In our case, each year, 3 students from each country will come to Rzeszów. So in total, we will have 9 students, 3 from Poland, 3 from Rzeszów, and 3 from United States. We will create 3 groups. Each group will consist of 3 students, 1 from US, 1 from Ukraine, and 1 from Poland. And each group will work on separate sub-projects. So we have 3 sub-projects. Each group will work on their own sub-projects.
Zofia Sawicka, PhD, a deputy director of NAWA, is the manager and coordinator of the ImpressU program in cooperation with the American National Science Foundation and National Research Foundation for Ukraine. She underlines that the most important issue for NAWA was cooperation with other agencies conducting public policies in the field of science, especially with the American partners. It allowed to experience differing approaches to academic and scientific management.
We have always in mind in Poland that American institutions are very professional and with high standards and so on. And the experience in our cooperation was that, in fact, they trust in their experts and they have very little procedures concerning the evaluation process of the projects. The reviews, for example, they have very informal format. In fact, every reviewer can prepare the review in the way he or she wants to do. It's not given how it should look like and so on. So my impression is that they really don't care so much about the form of how the reviewers, how the evaluators prepare their work. They just focus on the quality of their work and of the real impact if the review, what they have prepared, if it helps us to take the right decision.
The story is completely different from the Ukrainian point of view, as Zofia Sawicka underlines.
On the Ukrainian side, they are always afraid that somebody will tell them, how did you review the project? Why this and not that one get the financing? And they are very afraid about procedures and about preparing everything in details and to have everything well done from the formal side. So we can really observe how it works and how we can negotiate and how we can somehow co-work in finding a right solution for everybody. So it was for us, from the institutional point of view, a really great experience to see how we try to find the right way to run a program with different approaches, different national approaches to procedures and all the formal factors.
Zofia Sawicka compares 2 or 3, including a Polish one, approaches to science management, or so to say, the organizational culture in the field of applied sciences. The American model, created by the NSF, a 90-year-old institution, and a home to more than 200 Nobel Prize winners, is a model for a large part of the globe.
They just trust on themselves. They don't have to convince researchers or the whole academia that they are acting with the best procedures because everybody trusts them. Their history shows that we can trust them, that the researchers can trust them, that nobody will question their decisions.
Is there anything in particular that you anticipate regarding the program?
I think the great impact of this program maybe is that they focus on educational part of the project. So it's not only about research, but that we have also this added value in the way that there are a lot of PhD students and students involved in the research projects. I think this is the most important part and the most innovative part of this project.
Kendra Sharp, the head of the Office of International Science and Engineering at the U.S. National Science Foundation.
In this role, I lead a team that catalyzes international research and education partnerships and serves as a center for science diplomacy within the agency. At NSF, we have long been facilitating bilateral collaborations to offer joint research funding opportunities for international teams. We've recently been growing our multilateral programs. Because each country has unique resources and expertise, and a multilateral program allows researchers to pull together complementary strengths into a package that amplifies their ability to advance science, train students, and accelerate impact.
Kendra Sharp explains the idea and role of the ImpressU program.
ImpressU is an especially creative and unique NSF-led multilateral program. It brings together multiple governments and other less traditional partners with the following goals. The first is to support excellence in science and engineering research, education, and innovation. And then the second is to promote the integration of Ukrainian scientists into the international research community. This program is exciting not only because of the new research collaborations it supports, because this new way of combining government and non-government partners in a multilateral way can offer a model for other NSF-led programs in the future. NSF worked in partnership with the U.S. National Academies of Science, Engineering, and Medicine, the U.S. Department of Defense's Office of Naval Research Global, the Estonian Research Council, the Latvian Council of Sciences, the Research Council of Lithuania, Poland's National Science Center, the Polish National Agency for Academic Exchange, and the National Research Foundation of Ukraine. The program involves all of NSF, meaning teams can propose across all field of STEMs, and we've really prioritized a particularly short turnaround from proposal submission through rigorous review and to decision and funding. Our partner countries in Eastern Europe are already hosting Ukrainian researchers, but what ImpressU does is significantly enhance opportunities for Ukrainian researchers and students to work on multilateral collaborative research projects. The aim is not simply to rebuild the previous ecosystem, but to enhance Ukrainians' international S&T connectivity by supporting science and engineering research, education, and innovation through international collaboration.
How does ImpressU really work?
In ImpressU, each proposal must engage researchers from the US, from Ukraine, and at least one other country. And as with a number of our other joint funding opportunities, the teams submit a single proposal, which undergoes a single review process and then is jointly funded by participating agencies. So typically, each country funds their own researchers. In this case, under ImpressU, researchers affiliated exclusively with Ukrainian institutions may be supported by private donors through our U.S. national academies. NSF has been really impressed by the high number of submissions and moreover by the quality of the submissions. The majority of submitted proposals involve Polish institutions and Polish researchers. In addition to the usual criteria, novelty and uniqueness of research approach, roles of partners, in ImpressU, we also consider the likely potential of making a meaningful contribution to integrating Ukraine researchers into the global research community and building state-of-the-art research, education, and innovation ecosystem in Ukraine.
Kendra Sharp has high hopes for the program.
International teams are really starting these projects, so we expect great breakthroughs. But most importantly, we hope that the collaborative teams and their interactions will last for years to come. So let me leave you with two examples. So the first is a really large example. So we have an Institute for Research and Innovation in Software for High Energy Physics. This is a $25 million program that's led by Peter Elmer of Princeton University and CERN. And it's a hub for the international community. And through ImpressU, we have funded a supplement that builds new multilateral research software collaborations with, of course, the US, Ukraine, Poland, and Lithuania to really advance research in particle physics. So this is exciting, and over the course of 2 years, nearly 50 students will be involved in these multilateral international collaborations. In a second example, Professor Junfei Shi from San Diego State University has a prestigious Young Investigator Award on networked airborne collective computation on UAVs. These are unmanned aerial vehicles. And the ImpressU supplement, it expands the original scope of work by involving collaborators and researchers from Poland and Ukraine. This work enhances the scalability and security of these networked airborne computing systems towards new applications in transportation, public safety, and economic growth. And one of the really exciting things about this is that the investigator, the principal investigator, already had collaborations and connections to the UNIS European University, a consortium of universities from 10 European countries. So what this does is it really allows the students and the trainees an opportunity to collaborate with world leaders in the field from the US, Poland, Ukraine, and from other countries in Europe.
Olga Polotska is an executive director of the National Research Foundation of Ukraine.
This is truly a multilateral partnership that includes involvement of partners from 6 countries, which makes the partnership and its development, its design, very complicated, but at the same time so amazingly beautiful and outstanding. Private donors and foundations have already started funding the research of Ukrainian researchers, and the National Academy of Sciences will coordinate this funding. So we, as a funder, work closely with the National Academy of Sciences to ensure the funding, the appropriate funding and participation of Ukrainian researchers in collaborative projects. NSF and all the partners to the initiative invite visionary, ambitious, high-quality collaborative research proposals that address scientific challenges in any field of science, engineering, and education. Priority is given to projects that propose creative ways for enhancing the efficiency and resilience of international partnerships, efficient concepts to prepare an internationally engaged research workforce, efficient and significant contributions to build a modern, state-of-the-art research, education, and innovation ecosystem in Ukraine.
What does this mean in reality? And how does it work in Ukraine?
Well, the initiative provides financial support to Ukraine-based research teams, which shall include a PI on the Ukrainian side and at least one PhD or master students. The Ukrainian-based team may also include other researchers and also technical staff. However, all team members shall be based in Ukraine, which makes the initiative invaluable for the preservation of intellectual potential of Ukraine that's facing tremendous challenges at the moment.
Up to 15 projects will be supported, and Olga Polotska underlines that Impress You provides another aspect of a broad international support that Ukraine has received from abroad.
These are the countries that were actually the first one to stretch the helping hand to Ukrainian refugees in the first days of the full-scale Russian invasion on the territory of Ukraine. This makes this initiative so valuable for us, Ukrainians, and it seems to me for all the partners that are involved in this collaboration. We do hope that the initiative will be a huge success in all of the countries involved in the initiative, and we also look forward to our further collaboration with all the partners involved.
Professor Andriy Kovalskiy is a graduate of the Ivan Franko University of Lviv, who for 20 years has been pursuing his academic career in the USA. Currently, he is a professor in the Department of Physics, Engineering and Astronomy at Austin Peay State University, Tennessee. He shares his view of the program and its role.
Even it's student-oriented, it contains also very strong research component. And the formation of such a small international teams will be highly beneficial for all participating students. It will help to create an intellectual and research environment where future globally oriented and innovative scientists, educators, and engineers could grow. For many of them, it will be a life-changing event, actually, because based on my experience, such activities completely change approach of students to life. They will be able to understand that there is no really borders and no really limitations to achieve their professional goals. I want to especially highlight the importance of academics exchange for creation of international scientific teams. As an example, our cooperation with the University of Rzeszów was initiated after my and Professor Holowczyk's visit to Rzeszów and then return visits of Professor Cebulski and Dr. Shpotyuk to Tennessee. Definitely without those visits, current project would be simply impossible.
Professor Kovalskiy describes the way the program operates and his role in it.
Submission of the proposal to the NSF Impress You program is initiated by the American partner, either through supplement to the existing project or by submission of a new so-called eager project. The project we are talking about today is a supplement to already existing NSF award with an International Research Experience for Students program. Abbreviation of this program is IRES. And I am principal investigator of this NSF grant. This our 3-year IRES grant provides opportunity for 6 undergraduate American students to carry out advanced research on topics related to amorphous materials under supervision of American and foreign mentors. Specifically, every summer, American students spend 7 weeks doing research either in University of Rzeszów or in University of Pardubice, Czech Republic, or in University of Rennes 1 in France. So I'm very thankful to all these institutions because for this last 2 years, actually, they were hosting our students and helping them in the research, organizing research, and they didn't have too much kind of financial benefit from that. But it resulted, as you see now, in some kind of larger project within some other program, right? So, together with my collaborators from Poland and Ukraine, we prepared a proposal to this ImpressU program, and I submitted it to NSF and Polish partners to NAWA and Ukrainian partners to the American Academy of Science as it was required. My role in the project is coordination of all international activities, creation collaboration plans, formation of international student groups, and of course involvement in the research activities. So within this project, 3 groups of students will be formed. Every group will contain 3 students. One will be from the United States, one will be from Poland, and one will be from Ukraine. There will be 3 independent topics. Every of them, of this topic, will be supervised by scientists from one of the 3 countries, and from American side, we will lead the project related to development of new antibacterial glasses, and it will be supervised on site in Rzeszów by my colleague from Austin Peay, Professor Holowczyk. Also, together with my Polish collaborators, I will organize seminar or mini conference, if you will, in Rzeszów in June 27-28, with participation of other American IRIS groups working in Europe, and we will allow in this conference to students from all 3 countries to present the results obtained during the summer research program.
Yuriy Latushkin, Professor Emeritus at the University of Missouri, born and educated in Odessa in Ukraine, has spent most of his professional life in the USA. He describes his experience with the ImpressU program.
Together with my friend and collaborator from University of Texas at Dallas, Professor John Zweck, we recently applied for an NSF grant that we received, and quite recently we applied for an extension of this grant in the framework of the ImpressU, the NSF program designed to foster collaboration between mathematicians and other scientists in the United States, but mostly in the Ukraine and Poland. So we gathered together a team of collaborators from Poland and from Ukraine, and we are conducting some cutting-edge research on several issues, mainly related to the so-called damped wave equation. These are equations that describe propagation of waves through media. They are important in many areas, including laser optic, and this is one of the areas where my collaborator from Dallas, John Zweck, is a great expert. What we are planning to do is to solve several problems on the energy decay for time-dependent equations, wave equations with damping, and to build what is called fine spectral theory of the associated quadratic operator pencils, which can emphasize on the geometry and asymptotic of the spectrum and completeness properties of eigenvectors. And we also intend to characterize the geometry of the underlying domain or graph in terms of the spectrum. My main objective is to introduce the group that we are working with, which consists of several mathematicians in Poland, led by Professor Yuriy Latushkin, who is at Institute of Mathematics at Polish Academy of Sciences and also works for the University of Toruń. So he has several collaborators from Poland that he is going to involve in this project, and Yuriy Latushkin is the main person to organize the coordination between the East and the West, that is between Ukrainian part and the American part of this project. The Ukrainian part of this project is led by Professor Yaroslav Shpotyuk, who is working for the South Ukrainian Pedagogical Institute, and he's head of the department there. And he is a world-famous expert in function analysis and operator theory, in particular in spectral theory for operator pencils and so forth. So this is a very rare opportunity to kind of combine effort of these two groups to achieve some nice results.
Scientific research constitutes only one of the objectives. ImpressU has also a very strong underlying moral objective, as stated by Professor Latushkin.
And of course, our main objective of this program at large is to involve Ukrainian scientists and to help Ukrainian scientists in these terrific conditions that they are now working in. So under this non-stop attacks of Putin's rockets and everywhere, even in the parts of the Ukraine that is not directly affected, that are not on the front line. But still, almost every night there is a siren that goes off in Odessa, and people there, including scientists, they greatly suffer of that absolutely inhuman conditions. So our objective is to show moral support to those people, and I hope everyone will share with me this sentiment, which is a nice thing.
You have been listening to Direct to Science, a podcast by NAWA, the Polish National Agency for Academic Exchange. It was a free-range production.